All right, this comes to us from Forbes. Yes, Snow White is bombing at the box office. If you guys haven't heard, Snow White is doing awfully terrible at the box office right now. I've seen the movie. We talked about it on Project Agro, and it's horrendous. I hated the movie. I fell asleep probably 3 times while watching the movie. It's that bad. The singing is really bad. Well, we're talking about Gal Gadot here. So Gal Gadot's character, there's like 2 songs. It doesn't even sound like she's singing. She's awful. Now, if we're talking about Rachel Zegler can sing. She's not awful in the part. The movie just sucks. The Prince was completely removed from the movie. And this movie is 100% the worst movie I have ever seen that came out of Disney live action, other than Mulan. Mulan is absolutely the worst. But wait, there's more. Right over here, if you actually go to Not the Bee on X, it actually shows these videos right over here on the actual, I believe this is right over here, right? Opening night. Let's see, first Saturday, right here. Here's a video of scrolling through at the local theater's showtime for tomorrow, which is the first Saturday of release. Half of the shows are 100% empty. A few of them, a couple of scattered seats. So dang. Now, this is actually sort of different from mine, because when I went to the movies, I would say it's 70% filled, which is a good amount of people. I did see some little girls that are dressed up as Snow White or other princesses actually in the movie. None of them laughed. I think the only part they actually laughed was, I don't even remember if there was any laughing. There was no clapping. Even when I watched Aladdin, because I watched Aladdin in theaters, there was clapping. People clapped when they during A Whole New World, and they laughed and clapped after Friend Like Me, right? But this movie, none of that. Coming out of the movie, awful, terrible. Don't watch it. I watched it and I regret watching it, and it was like $10 to $12. I regret wasting my money. It was an hour and 50 minutes long of garbage. Now, if you go right over here, it comes from the Daily Mail. Cinema goers show empty seats as film fans snub Disney's woke Snow White in new release. So let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Right over here, there is a, I think this is on X, there's a photo of completely empty, and this is Saturday, right? Not opening night, not preview night, but Saturday. This is the day where you're supposed to go and have a lot of people in the theaters watching your movie. It's that bad. And here's another one right over here. I remember watching Alan Ng. He talked about it along with Chris Gore and Verbal Riot. He said that this movie was bad. It was awful. Yeah, this is, look at this right over here. One of the most diverse movies of all time. In the beginning of the movie, you basically see young Snow White in the city, in the town square, singing about socialism. How everyone has their fair share, how everybody is equal, how everything is just right and dandy. Now, if you guys don't know how she got her name, Snow White's mom and dad were trying to conceive for quite some time. And after a long miracle on a cold, stormy winter night, they were able to have the baby. And just because of the snowy winter night, let's call her Snow White. I shit you not, that is the reason why they called her Snow White. Not because she has skin as white as snow, it's because it was snowing that night. Very retarded, very stupid. Now over here from Ian Miles Chang Chong Ching, right over here, this is Rachel Zegler. And let's see what her big mouth has to say.
And to everyone who hates when I win, the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her.
I don't think so. I don't think so. This was freaking awful. This is not a win that you think it was going to be. It is not. Right? And I believe on X, Disney put out that this is the #1 movie in the world, which I don't agree it will be for long. It might be at the moment, but not in its entirety. Let's finish this.
And I can only hope that despite my flaws, and despite my cracks and my breaks, and there are many of them,
You gonna cry?
that at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
I think that she didn't need to make this video. She didn't need to make this video. This is more like, haha, I won. And just like that, everyone's gonna come to see me because I am awesome. And look, she's just insufferable. But wait, there's more. Over the past weekend, Snow White did do something that nobody have ever thought would have been possible. Out of all the live action adaptations, Snow White has gotten so bad, it has dropped below 2.0 on not on Rotten Tomatoes, but on IMDb rating. It is at a 1.9 out of 10. Now, you're like, what do you mean? It's pretty good, right? No, it's really bad. It's because Dragon Ball Evolution has 2.5. I didn't think that was gonna be possible, but Snow White is actually that bad that Dragon Ball Evolution actually looks good compared to it. Now, I watched both movies. They're both really bad. They're both awful. But I didn't fall asleep watching Dragon Ball Evolution. There's actually several hot characters in Dragon Ball Evolution. They ruined a lot of the characters. They ruined a lot of story. They ruined the lore. I hated the movie. I will never get that time back. There are some parts where it's so bad it's good, but I did not fall asleep. Snow White, on the other hand, I was trying to stay awake. This movie was way too long. I hated the CGI. The fact that they made Dopey talk was insanely retarded. It is absolutely stupid how the evil queen died. Not by an act of God, falling off a cliff and the boulders crushing her, killing her, but her breaking the mirror and her literally being snapped by Thanos turns into dust. And then at the end of the movie, Snow White and a bunch of other dudes have a Diddy party, all in white. Remember, there's no prince in the movie. There's only a bunch of bandits. This movie is about socialism at its core. I hate this movie, and this movie deserves its bomb. And I love seeing companies like this lose. Is because when you get woke, you go broke.